closer. Is this thing on? Can y'all hear me? How are we doing? Are we doing good? Y'all come on in. Who do we have coming in here? Q join, Tish, special girl. Please come on in. I'm so happy you're here. I'm just checking to make sure the door's closed so my darling husband or children don't come in. Tell me, do you all like the blue? I'm feeling blue today, but in the best possible way. Erin Ashley is my little sister. I got a lot of little sisters. Y'all are gonna start making my real little sisters jealous. I got one that gets jealous when I have new adopted sisters. But y'all are becoming my adopted sisters. And look who came on in and got the hearts going. I just want to call myself the hardest working on the internet today. I've been working for Black women at 92% today. That's all I'm gonna say. I started with a live. I started with my first unboxing live at 9:30. I was then finishing up the podcast. I made 2 videos, stories, then recorded a new version of the podcast because I didn't like the old one. And I said it was going to be a mini-sode, and then it turned into like another half-hour episode that I'm almost finished editing. I made thumbnails, um, show notes. It's been a day. And normally after the podcast, y'all come on in. Hey, come on in. Thank you in advance for sharing out the live. Thank you. Share it out. Share it out to one Black woman that you know needs to be here for this conversation. And I promise you, this is going to be a good conversation. It's going to be an uplifting conversation. The stuff we have to talk about tonight is heavy. I'm not even going to call it mess. It's not mess. It's actually rather serious. These are some of this stuff. Hi, Live Legion. How are you? I still am having trouble with the link to getting to the Discord. I'm just having a little bit of trouble. I'm working on it. The Live Legion, my TikTok shop agency that I am very newly signed to. Y'all know on my new channel, Halicue B-Sides. It's my practice. It's my learning channel. I want to turn that into my TikTok shop channel. So please come follow me over there at Halicue B-Sides. Thank you for getting those hearts going. Y'all know it feels like a line of energy from right here going right there. Every time I see it, it is a free way to support the live. And if you support this live, you are supporting a Black woman of the 92%. That is who I am. I'm Halicue Hanna. I'm a thought leader and I'm content creator for Black women of the 92%. Why do we call ourselves the 92%? Do I even have to reach for it? Do I have to do it? The reason we call ourselves the 92% is because of this number right here. These are voter statistics. This is voter statistics broken out by race. And let's see, who do we have coming in absolute first in this last presidential election in 2024? Who came in first? Who got the A? Black women. There we are, right there. 92% of Black women. Now I'm going to go ahead and give Black men. They say the final number is 80 something. 80 something. Okay. So I'm going to, okay. But this is the live version of the Hey, It's Halicue podcast. My podcast is created for Black women of the 92%, the Black women that showed up to do what was right for this nation, to make the right choice for progress, for freedom, for egalitarianism, for equity, for progress. And what happened? That's okay. That massive disappointment opened up a huge portal for us as Black women to step into the full dimension of our human experience. We say a lot. Even Don Lemon was talking about this. Don Lemon and somebody else is having a conversation about us. They were talking about us, talking about Black women 92%. And I forget his name. Is it Blow? He's very good looking. He has a voice like an actor. I see him on new. I think is it Charles Blow? I think is his name. Him and Don Lemon were having a conversation. I was like, oh, they're having a conversation about us. How nice. It's too bad there's no Black women at the table to talk about them talking about us and the 92%. But the conversation was about, they say Black women are stepping back, Black women are resting. And I wanted to be like, if y'all had a Black woman at the table, I could tell you what we're doing. But Charles Blow, thank you, thank you, thank you. Who gave me of course it was Aaron Ashley Wrights. Of course it was. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for that. You all follow Aaron Ashley Wrights. And by the way, when y'all come in, please go right up there and tap your little daily heart me. It's kind of like saying hi to me. It's kind of like that's kind of what it's like. And it lets me know who's in the room, who's ready to have some conversation. It also enables you to get your little engagement point. Silvana, how are you? Thank you. Silvana. So see, I know Silvana came in because I saw it. Cookie, hey, come on. Oh, y'all come on in. I hope y'all are excited for some heavy but fun conversation. Aaron, thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you all. Y'all have already gotten us to 1,000 hearts. Oh my gosh. I'm going to set the alarm right now. Let's have some conversation. Let's have some conversation. I'm Halicue Hanna. I'm your human ray of sunshine who masquerades as a podcaster. The name of my podcast is Hey, It's Halicue. It's a podcast for Black women of the 92%. I just finished laying down our episode that's going to go out tonight. So I hope you're getting ready for listening enjoyment. Be looking in your inboxes. If you want for me to let you know when the podcast is coming, follow me right down there where it says Substack. Go right there and tap that. And stay here, do it on another window. I want you to stay here. But the new podcast is dropping tonight. You can listen to it any place you listen to podcasts: Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I've got new videos of our lives up on YouTube and new shorts. But the heart and soul of the podcast is over on Substack. So I just laid that down. We're talking a lot about microaggressions this week, and I decided, because the episode that we're supposed to have come out to tonight is the Protected Collective. It's about protecting yourself in microaggressions. But since I remember that they're trying so hard to erase us, that I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a microaggressions 101. So we know what they are. We know who lobs them at us. We know what they look like. We know what they sound like. We know what they're intended to do, because they're malicious. They're meant to hurt us. To talk a little bit about the history of them, and then specifically what we can do to protect ourselves from them, to ward them off, because I truly feel that microaggressions are a very, 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 or at least they have been in the past, a very effective method of energetic and spiritual warfare against Black women in particular. And there's a certain group of people that likes to point them at us. Oh, Aaron, thank you for giving us our first step towards our goal tonight. The apps like to give us a goal. They want to make sure, Savannah, thank you, that they want to make sure we're having a conversation, Savannah, thank you. Do y'all know I picked these? So I feel like if y'all want to kiss me on the cheek, you can kiss me on the cheek. That's why I picked them. I picked the ones that are like, I get to feel y'all. I hope y'all feel me. I hope this energy isn't too much. I take that back. I was almost apologizing for being too much, and Black women don't do that anymore. We do not do that anymore. So I take it back. Pretend like you never, wipe it from your mind. Where's the magic? Wipe it from your mind. You didn't even hear it. It's gone forever. Didn't hear it. Boom. Forgot to even think about it. But I am your thought leader, and I'm your content creator for Black women of 92%. I talk about us, our issues. I make sure, oh, Savannah, oh, look at that. Savannah, I didn't think you could get no higher in the levels. I didn't even think that was possible. Really. Y'all are my go-tos. We in it like this. Like, we're in it like this. Some interesting things are happening in my world, and I promise y'all going with me all the way. We're together. We go together now. We're in. We locked in. We're going all the way together. And we're going to talk about some stuff that's heavy. So let me get the housekeeping out of the way. I'm so excited about the new episode of the podcast. Every episode of the podcast is my personal love letter to Black women of the 92%. People don't be doing us right. They have not done us right since they drag our ancestors over here. But we are fixing that. We're redressing that. We transmute as a people. Hey, Black historian. We have a historian in the house. Hello. Hi. My husband is a historian. It's what makes our magic work. I am the artist and the domestic goddess, and he is the historian, and it works. So I have a deep, 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 deep respect for history. And I have a Venus in Gemini. I really can't take men seriously that aren't smart, because I find the men that are interesting, or that I'll even bother to learn your name. Like, I lived here for 13 years. I couldn't tell you the name of 5 dads. 'Cause you gotta be interesting to be a dad and, like, stand out to me, like, you really do. And it's because I feel like you have to, because I feel like for me to remember you, thank you. Because I feel like for me to remember you, you have to be funny, and I find that if you're not smart as a man, you're not funny. This is just how I feel. This is just how I feel. So I take the history part very seriously. I am positive it's one of the reasons my husband, like, landed the deal with me right after college. I've been married so long. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to blurs. Shout out to us. Shout out to black nerds. Thank you all. Oh my gosh, y'all have almost got us to 80% of our goal. Y'all are too much. Hi, Nikki. Thank you for getting your heart me. When y'all come on in, get the heart me, and then send this live out to anybody that you know that wants to have a conversation about what we're talking about tonight. I want you all to download the pod. I want you to download the podcast. There's a new episode that's going to be coming out tonight at midnight. It's going to be all ready for your beautiful listening ears tonight. Do y'all like the blue? Now that my girls are here, can y'all tell me? Oh, thank you for getting your heart me. Awesome. Tell me if you like the blue. Do you like the blue? Normally, y'all know I love yellow, but I think I need an alternate signature color. Another black woman on the internet told us this week that instead of worrying about relationships and having and getting a man and all that, we need to be working on our signature colors. We need to be working on our signature looks for the summer. What are our go-to colors? What is our haircut? What new thing are we trying this summer? And I like that. And I said, I always wear yellow, so let me try another color I really like. So y'all let me know. Let me know if you like it. And y'all go, please check out the podcast. Get ready for the podcast to drop tonight. Please go hang out with me over on YouTube. I do believe we are live on YouTube. So hello to YouTube land and to everybody in YouTube land. And we're going to be having some discussion tonight. We've had a lot of good discussion on microaggressions this week. And now we're going to talk about Black women suffering in silence. We're going to talk about Cassie, and we're going to talk about Halle Bailey, our little mermaid, and DEFGHIJK. We're going to talk about that tonight. I hate to have to talk about it, but do you all know that when I get down to the black bottom line of why I do this podcast, I do it because as a black woman, I have seen us suffer so much pain, like in our own family and my own relationships with every black woman I've ever known. She is always, I don't, we have to carry so much. There is nothing more shocking to me than meeting these beautiful, vibrant, amazing black women. And as we get to know each other and we become friends, like you find out the stories that got us to where we are. Hey, pals, how are you? Pals, I'm gonna write your name down because I was trying to thank you today and I could not remember the name. I'm writing it down. Welcome and thank you for coming and getting your daily heart me, and thank you for getting hearts. Please, 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 thank you for sharing this out. There is a black woman that needs to be here for this conversation tonight. We are talking about what Cassie, what she suffered. We're talking about Halle Bailey, and we're talking about black women suffering in silence and how another big part of the 92% movement, thank you, is it. Did we reach our goal again? Y'all are amazing. You know what? For our goal tonight, not only am I going to read, not only am I going to pull a card for our rest and restoration, I'm going to read something from one of my favorite books. A lot of y'all have been asking about that I'm going to make a post about. Okay, so that's going to be our special tonight. It's going to be around our restoration and our healing and our inspiration as Black women. Y'all know when we reach our goal, y'all reached our goal. We've only been talking for 7 minutes. Like we've only been talking for 7 minutes, but it makes me so grateful because when you all do that and y'all keep the hearts going and you share out the live, it just lets it lets all of the apps that we're on know that we're having a healthy and a vigorous conversation. When I say Black women of the 92%, Black women of the 92% that follow it on these different platforms are likely, like, they'll get pings, it'll get pushed out to them. So thank you for doing that. When you do it, and especially with the tapping, y'all getting the tapping up, it's free support. Like, it's free support. Hello, lobotomy. Hello, I like that name. Oh my God, 59 messages. Y'all, I'm gonna try to read these messages. Coco Toast joined. The problem is that it's sort of, anytime I move anything, it moves the sticker. So it makes it kind of hard. So I'm gonna move the sticker up a little bit, maybe, so I can see a little bit better. There we go. Now we're good. Is that okay? That's good because it even gives me like a little modesty shield. Nice. I like that. Okay, let's keep that right there. Thank you all for your patience with me. Oh my gosh, y'all are just moving up and leveling up. Thank y'all so much. And now I'll be able to pin some comments. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you. And thank you for the love. And you all make sure y'all type words in the comments because we carry so much. Erin Ashley Wright, she is absolutely correct. We carry so much. So much. I can't tell you what it's like. And I definitely know that's too much light. I definitely know what I experienced myself in my own childhood, what my sisters have suffered, what my aunties have suffered, what my grandmothers have suffered. Y'all know my grandma Halicue. Hi. We do. Oh, we do. We do. We carry so much. Love your hair. Thank you. Do you like my hair? Thank you. I'm a sacred girly. Sacred. I decided in 2024 I was only giving my hair care dollars to Black women. I decided I was Beyonce, and she's been doing me right ever since. And y'all, this is me. It's Thursday. I washed my hair on Monday. This is me 3 days in. This is 3 days in, and I forgot to put my bonnet on last night. It's not, I mean, it's not bad. I could probably freshen it up like a little bit, but thank you. And thank you to Sacred. Sacred dropped a really nice comment under my post about my hair the other day. So I love it. And it's an Ulta now. So they don't pay me. I'm just saying. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the hair's big tonight. And thank you for the popular vote, y'all. It really means a lot when y'all send out that popular vote because it really juices and lets people know we're having a good conversation. Are y'all ready to talk about this now? I don't want to talk about it, but we have to talk about it. And it seems like the world dislikes us. But the thing is, they don't. They actually want to consume us. Y'all know that's something that used to happen, right? That's why we try not to use the words picnic. Like they really did. There is a magic center in us that they can't seem to get without. It's awesome for us to have conversation about what were they saying? I think they were not too long ago, like, oh, this administration is gonna resegregate certain parts of contractors or whatever. Then we had the conversation about that, and a lot of people were like, I can't wait to go back. And then they were like, it's gonna be y'all next. They'll be deporting y'all next. They're not gonna deport us. If they could have gotten rid of us, they would have. They can't. We literally, our blood and our sweat is tied to the nation. That's the reason the South pulls so many of us back so hard. It pulls me back so hard. Our humanity. We are, and our ability to transmute. I'm going to remember the name of this. I'm going to remember the name of the content creator that talked about this today. She talks about spiritual things, deconstructing from the church, how magical we are as Black women, especially. Since when's Black fatigue? They'll throw anything at us, and that is it's not even a microaggression. That's an aggression. That's a big one. Trying to use words that sound logical and sane, it's insidious. It's to make it so that we can't fight back, but we gonna fight back because we know now that it's energetic and spiritual warfare. It don't work on us. It's like a force field now. We know what it is. We know why y'all doing it. You want to get us involved in the conversation. You want to get us to look over here and get mad and get out in the streets. And we're not doing that anymore. We're just not doing it anymore. You all, thank you so much for sharing out the live. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for the popular votes. And we are never encouraged to talk about it. That's right. So then what do? We tell ourselves, well, your mind will do our minds will do whatever. And thank you all for getting the hearts going again. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Y'all, we've already reached our goal. I don't even know. TikTok, please don't ask me to set another goal. We've done very well tonight. We've done very well. TikTok, like, please don't. Oh my gosh. But of course, y'all's generosity is appreciated. It supports the podcast. It lets them know our live room is on and popping. So thank you for coming on in. Thank you for tapping the heart. Tapping is kind of like, what do they say? Like, I don't want to say tapping is clapping. That's lame. But like tapping is like letting me know I'm listening to you. I hear you. I got you. Like it's one of my favorite things to do. Like when I'm listening to certain speakers, I don't know how the apps are, but I want them to know I like what she's saying. I get down with that. I want her analytics to go up when she said that right there, because then that creator can go back and look and be like, why did she like that? Or why do people like that? It helps us. And then it helps us make more content that's better for our communities, for us. For us, that's the way that works. Is that my gentleman caller out there? There's my husband. That's my gentleman caller out in the garden. There he is. The garden is like right out there. So y'all, we're gonna talk about who should we talk about first? Should we talk about Halle or Diddy and Cassie? About what black women suffer and how we're not going to suffer silently anymore. Somebody just said all of these awful things that happen to us as black women, we're encouraged to stay quiet about it, to swallow it down, which only gives us autoimmune disease, which only makes us sick, right? So it's important for us to talk about it. Silvana, thank you. Silvana's here. Thank you for sending. Silvana, thank you for sending the popular vote. It's an obsessive type of dislike. I don't understand it exactly. Do y'all know the obsessive dislike part? And it just goes again to the reason I podcast for black women. Like exclusively, really. Like exclusively. It's awesome if other people are interested in what I have to say. That's great. And I appreciate you. I consider y'all our accomplices, especially if you're here to learn, especially if you're here to change your behavior, especially if you're here to learn how to teach the next generation to do better. If you're here to actively and monetarily support a black woman, I'm here for that. But sometimes it feels like everybody hates us. Sometimes it feels like our own families hate us, like our own men. It's like we could almost get everybody else, but really everybody, it's obsessive and I don't understand it. A lot of us don't understand it. I will give you an example. I'll give you an example. Y'all know I'm a fan of Duchess Meghan, Duchess Meghan of Sussex. I was getting ready to write a post and I realized when I was doing the post, it wasn't a pro Megan post. It was a don't Kate look stupid in that outfit trying to imitate Megan post. And I immediately pressed pause on it. I put it in drafts and I was like, I don't like when people do that when the only reason they make content is to like dog somebody else out as opposed to like big upping their fave. Like I'll do that, but I'm not doing that. Like I don't want to do that. Like, and I'm not gonna be dishonest and say I don't ever other people do it and I like laugh about it, but I don't know that that's for me to do. I'm here to uplift. I want to uplift my faves, use them as examples and archetypes. I don't want to just get on here. I want to do pro Megan stuff. I don't, because it doesn't make sense to me to obsessively hate on other people. I don't know if that's the Leo in me. I think it's the black woman in me. I think that's what it is, or that delicious combination of both. But I don't want to do that. That's not what I'm interested in. That's not, that's not what I'm about. And we suffer so much. I have seen my own family members suffer some of the stuff I have suffered, some of the stuff that they're talking about. Why don't we go ahead and get started with like Halle Bailey and DDG just to give us a little update. Oh no, that's the wrong one. I do not want to read that. That's Diddy. I literally is only so far into that I want to go, but I'll just to bring us up to snuff on and up to date on what's going on. Halle Bailey was granted temporary physical and legal custody of son Halo after ex-boyfriend's DDG's alleged abuse. I knew it. I knew it. Why do you like Megan so much? What has she done for us black women? Be black and be a princess and be married to a prince. She was fighting for equity and for feminism and women's rights, like literally in junior high school. She wrote to Dove. They made to Dove soap talking about the stereotypes that they did. They literally fixed their commercial. She put herself through college. She did her best to put herself through college. She's been a working actress. She was an ambassador to the UN for women and on behalf of women and children. And I'm down with Black Princess and Black Duchess energy. She's a worker. She's a podcaster. She's a lifestyle content creator. She was all that before she met the man that she saved. She was all that before. She's a Leo. I mean, that's basically why. And she shines and she perseveres and microaggressions. That woman has got a whole country that hates her because her husband loves her. I mean, she rescued him and she has to deal with the microaggressions and stuff we're talking about. That's why. Yeah, she belongs to black women. Black women love her and we're going to take her and claim her. I have this gorgeous picture of her, hair out to here. hair out to here, and those two little puffs like out to here next to her beautiful black mother who wears dreads. Okay? So, yeah. That's what she's done. Be an example, be a shining light, live your soft life. Pick the man that's going to love you and worship you and will walk away from everything from you. That's why I like her. That's why. But I digress. Let's get back. Let's get back. Y'all, yeah, let's get back. Let's get back to what we're talking about. Black women suffering in silence, and how we had these two awful, awful, awful examples of this week. Oh, and go to be yes. Who takes you to Beyonce concerts? Harry, happy as a clam. Happy Harry done found out that a black woman, a root worker, by the way, like a root worker said all gingers are black people. Harry is happy as he's ever been. Happy as she's ever been. And I love, and she's a Leo. She rescued him. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care what y'all say. Hey, King Cat Daddy. He called himself Cat Daddy. Welcome in, sir. Welcome in, sir. We're about to start talking about Black women suffering in silence and how we are going to stop doing that. We're going to start talking about it. Black women, y'all have messed around. We have education, we have money, we have resources. We're in therapy. We're in therapy now. We're not going to be suffering in silence. We're going to be talking about it. And also, do y'all know that this was my work before this was my work? My work was in domestic violence and sexual assault. When I graduated from college, I was a community educator. This was during the time of OJ. I was a community outreach educator, a volunteer coordinator. Then I became a program director, program manager. I was way too young for these like huge managerial roles. Running a shelter, support groups, writing grants to get funding for women who had been abused, substance abuse programs, and having special shelter programs. Because when I was coming up around the time of OJ, if you're a woman that had an abuse problem, a substance abuse problem, you couldn't come into shelter. Like even if even if you were suffering horribly. So this is my work. This is my wheelhouse. Why? Because I grew up in a violent home. I grew up in a violent home. I just did. My father was a beautiful, brilliant man, and he was wildly violent, wildly. So it meant a lot to me. So as a way to try to heal myself, I didn't know that at the time. That's the work I started doing. That was my work in big nonprofit. And then I went on to work for Planned Parenthood. I was director of education for them before I went down to the clinic one day and said I'm having a hard time finding my Nuva ring, and they were like, "Halicue, congratulations." We hope this is good news. You're pregnant. Director of education of Planned Parenthood, Golden Gate. Like randomly like gets pregnant. And it was great news. It was happy news. Changed the trajectory of my life, but I still volunteer until COVID. I still volunteered and worked in the shelter. I was still picking women up from police departments. I have taken thousands of hotline calls. I am literally my brain. For years, I was trained to be a human resource directory. So do you need housing? You go here. Okay, we got to get you on food stamps. You go here. This is where you go to register your child for school. This is where we go to get you a new phone. Please go to the closet building and get your clothes and pick yourself out. Oh, we have a new transitional housing program. I recommended you. Do you want to practice your interview? This is my work. So Black women suffering, this is my work. Oh, Ashley Rice first. I'm not going to cry tonight. I'm not going to cry. But that is why I do what I do. I do it because I grew up a Black girl in Southern Mississippi, and I saw a lot of women suffer. We suffered romantically. People abused us physically, mentally, emotionally. We worked ourselves to death. There was also another creator this week that was talking about um, the reason your mama and your grandmama work so hard or are so busy all the time. They always got to be doing something. They're working for the church. They're cleaning the house. They're folding clothes. They're ironing clothes. They're taking a plate over to Miss So and So because she's suffering or her son just got out or whatever. We're constantly working, never resting, never. We even have sayings: "There ain't no rest for the wicked." That's why I take this work seriously. That's why I work for Black women at the 92%. That's why I podcast. That's why I go live. That's why I support younger women, especially young artists like Erin Ashley. Y'all follow her and y'all talk to each other. Would you please talk to each other and introduce yourselves? to each other. You don't have to share if you've ever gone through anything like this. And also, it's good for somebody like me to have this conversation live, and y'all invite somebody to the live that y'all know need to hear this conversation. You don't have to have somebody putting their hands on you. Good vibes, nothing but. Hey, Ebony. Y'all, thank you for Uncle Waffle. Uncle Waffles is like Uncle Waffles, like Uncle Waffles' house. Thank you all for coming in. This is going to be a good conversation, and I'm a good person to host this conversation because this is my work. I'm a professional. I'm literally trained. I have certificates. I'm trauma informed, like trauma informed, and I'm a Black woman from Mississippi, and I'm a bougie hoodoo. I'm telling you, I got this licked. I can help be one of the people that takes us Black women where we need to go next. I'm telling you, I really am. So I'm a good person to have this conversation with. And this does not have to be a sad conversation because we're talking about it. When I was first doing this work right out of Dartmouth, like right at 1994 when I graduated, wasn't nobody talking about this. We didn't have the internet. You were like, you couldn't talk about this stuff. We didn't have like cameras that could where people could get support in real time if we were going through stuff. We didn't have programs with police departments so they would be trained. I mean, you still can't trust cops, but like at least we train them now. At least there's a protocol. There's stuff they have to do. At least we have follow-up services. We have therapy now. So I'm a good person to lead the conversation. So let's have a conversation. Y'all introduce yourselves. We are talking about why Black women aren't going to suffer in silence anymore. And I love the way Black men are speaking up too. I've seen so many Black men on this app today talking about, I am so sick of y'all taking up for these clearly abusive brothers. Stop. Stop. And so just to bring us up to speed, we'll start with Halle first. This breaks my heart. I knew it was something wrong. And I can always tell because I have all this training and all this knowledge. I knew when he was acting up and that girl was stressed. I know stress when I see it. I know stress when you think somebody is about to pop off that you're in love with. I know what that's like because you know how they act at this point in the relationship. You're like, I have a big night because they like to mess with you when you have big nights. They like, and then they'll look at you like, what's wrong with you? They know you have a big night. That's when I knew something was wrong. And I just I was like, I'm gonna just pray for Halle. I'm gonna pray for that little baby. That's too bad. Please let this movie do well. And please let her enjoy being the Little Mermaid the way she enjoys. But here are the allegations. Halle Bailey, actually, it's not an allegation, this is fact. Halle Bailey granted temporary physical and legal custody of son Halo, which y'all means she proved it. She proved what was happening. And legal custody of son Halo after ex-boyfriend DDG's alleged abuse. Oh, bless her heart. According to court documents obtained by People, the Little Mermaid star, 25, was granted sole legal and physical custody of her 16-month-old Halo Saint, whom she welcomed in December 23 with ex-boyfriend. The Angel singer requested sole custody of the toddler after she alleged the 27-year-old rapper, whose real name is Dwayne Granberry, of course it is, abused her physically and emotionally. The temporary restraining order, which orders the Twitch streamer to remain 100 yards away from Bailey and Halo at all times, expires on the court hearing. One of the reasons, and I'm just going to give an update, one of the reasons they did that is because he would take and hide the baby. Take and hide, either hide the baby or hide with the baby. And y'all, I have been one of those children that has been kidnapped by their father. Like, just to stress the mom out, just to stress out my mother, just to get her upset, literally come grab you, take you out of school, and then take you someplace just to mess with your mind. So I know this is real. And it breaks my heart. But tonight we're going to be transmuting this pain, the pain that we carry, into the collective truth with strength and with energy of protection. So that's what we're doing tonight. That's why we're having the conversation. And thank y'all for holding space for this emotional week. This stuff be hard on us as Black women. Like, literally, we watch the news, we see this stuff on TikTok. Yes, we tried to warn her, but I'm glad she's taking legal action. Aaron is right. We did. We tried. Bae, me too. Seriously, a lot of us have dealt with this. Y'all, thank you for sharing out the live. Okay. And thank y'all for just holding this space. We're going to have some conversation tonight. Okay. And we're celebrating. The podcast is done. It's about to go out into the universe tonight. Y'all be ready to download it. Okay. Be ready to share it, especially with young Black women, so they'll know what microaggressions are. You got a young Black girl that's going off to college. It's graduation season. You got one that's getting ready to go off into the working world like me. Download this episode and send it to her. It's dropping tonight at midnight. So we're going to tell the truth and we're going to feel the light. We're going to transmute this conversation. We're going to learn something so that we can extend the hand and help somebody else. All right. Tonight, oh, all right. And I don't have that long. I've only got a half an hour. We got to get some conversation in because I be going long. I be going like way too long. I be going like way too long on here. Um, Tonight is about collective release and clarity. And again, we are not okay. Okay, it says visibility is restricted for 30 minutes. I don't know what I said. We're clearly talking about topics that made somebody mad. I'm not sure what that's about. But we're not just unpacking pain, we're going to transmute it. That's what we do. Oh, and the good news is if there's anything that anybody didn't get or it does limit visibility, so thank you all for liking and sharing out more so we can structurally like still get people and get women involved in this conversation. And it's always interesting when women get ready, the mechanisms that are in place to keep us from talking about what has happened to us. How very interesting. What have we done except to talk about what women have gone through? All we have done is read from the news what happened to another Black woman. That's all we did. And what happens? People doing whatever they can to try to restrict and shut down this conversation when this is a conversation that might free somebody. Interesting. Very interesting the way that works. Okay. Yeah. Very interesting. Joe Bay said she was an innocent. We've all been through like this. So I feel for her. Me too. So let us wrap this beautiful collective energy of Black women of the 92% around her. Let us wrap it around her. And I promise to share, I'll try to get the YouTube video up tonight. It may not have a thumbnail, but anything we talk about, we can take a look at and um, we can receive later on tonight if we need it and share it. All right. But we're not just unpacking pain, we're going to transmute it. Okay. Oh, and it's just a shame the way we have to suffer in silence so often. You know, we're talking about microaggressions earlier. That's us having to suffer silently in the workplace. Halle is going out to do a work event, and we see the shenanigans that she's dealing with, trying to create art. She's another one. She's an artist. Artists, as I was saying earlier, I was talking to Erin Ashley about this today. Artists are supposed to, I was talking to my husband about it too. I was like, we were talking about some mess in the house, the washroom, like the washroom is a mess, and my daughter's room is a mess, and my clothes are all over the place. And I was like, you know what? I am an artist. Bob Dylan in that awful movie I saw, like other artists, men have people that just exist, women around them just to make sure they don't have to do anything. They don't have to cook, they don't have to clean. No, he's an artist. He's working on his rap album, you know. He's really busy. He's a talent. Like nobody ever does that for women. Nobody ever does that for us. She's an artist. And when she's promoting her work, when she's on red carpets, y'all, that's work. That really is work for her. She should be free of all this stuff. But you know, another one of the reasons for this, another creator today, y'all look it up. It's about sheltered Black girls and how for a lot of us, it's not a like sheltering Black girls and not talking to them honestly about relationships, about intimacy, letting them practice, having boyfriends. All of a sudden, you get yourself, somebody gets in your ear and they talk the way you like, and you, in your mind, you're in a relationship and y'all are healthy and happy. Next thing you know, you've been convinced to bring in the next generation, and then they start being abusive, and then you're trapped. Doesn't matter if you're a siren. It doesn't matter if you're a siren like Halle. It doesn't matter if you're everybody's little cousin and the hardest working woman in Hollywood like Keke Palmer. It doesn't matter if you're one of the most beautiful women on earth, like Halle Berry. Y'all know that thing about her being deaf in one ear because somebody hit her? That's true. That's true. Okay. Like, that's true. We suffer so much and in silence because we have been taught that we carry not only the weight of the world, we definitely carry the weight of our people, right? That's why Black women are least likely, we're least likely to date or marry interracially, although uh, Black men, white women have some of the strongest marriages and lowest divorce rates. Like it's very interesting what we have been taught and we've been conditioned to do. But we have taught to just carry the weight. Just absorb it. And don't talk about it. Don't talk our business in front of other people. Whatever you do, what happens at home stays at home. It's not our business. And no, you can't go to a therapist because I got a job with the state and I can't have you talking to doctors and having written records. And we not, no, baby, we not gonna call the police because daddy or cousin, whatever, is acting crazy because we don't want him in jail. We know we know what happens to our men in jail. Me too. I was never taught how to date. Just don't give it up before mirrors. That's it. That's all I was taught. Keep your legs closed. Keep your legs closed. I'm gonna give y'all a Mississippi memory. My mama told me it was a very strict household. I grew up in a very strict house. I was told, Halicue, you're a smart girl and you're a pretty girl, but pretty girls come a dime a dozen. And it's a lot of them that end up thinking they going because of their prettiness, trying to navigate the world on prettiness. There's sucking sorrow right now. Y'all ever heard that term, sucking sorrow? That's sucking sorrow right now. So you better be smart. It's a pretty women are a dime a dozen. Be smart. My mom said she would rather raise hogs than raise a dumb pretty girl. It's not funny. It's horrible. It's not funny. It's horrible. So I took my brains and I took my intellect seriously, but this is what I was told about intimacy and boyfriends. First of all, you can have a boyfriend. Second of all, you better not say going together because in my parents' generations, going together meant something. It meant intimacy was happening. You didn't say things like that. A boy could pick you up, take you to the prom, take you out to get some little hamburger or something, and then come home. And that's it. Prom, you came home when Miss So and so, that's the prom chaperone, comes walking in next door. That's when you home. That's what happens. And don't put out your lip. Otherwise, I'll be driving you to prom and be chaperoning and then picking you up. It was a very strict household. But that's what I was told. Put an aspirin between your knees. I'm not joking. My mother told me, Halicue, you can, yes, we're taught to sacrifice ourselves to comfort others. Thank you, Silvana. It is really, I'm having a hard time pinning comments. It will not let me pin this comment. Y'all, and thank you for sharing out the live and thank you for keeping the likes going. I think our little 10-minute restriction is up. I'm going to try to talk seriously about what we're talking about without triggering anything. I don't know what I could have said to trigger anything, but thank you all for sharing. And thank you when you come in for just going right on up there and saying hi. It's kind of like saying hi to me and then say hi to each other, especially if you've seen each other. But that's what I was told. I was told, Halicue, you can do what I tell you, make good grades, go off to a great school and have a great life and live your own life and follow whatever rules you want to follow because I will have raised you to be a decent, hardworking person and you can have opportunities. You can see the world. You can do the things I've done if you do what I say. If you don't, and you get yourself in some kind of trouble because of some little boy, because it's always a little boy, because of some little boy, you can go right down to Bethesda Christian School for Girls. I don't even know if Bethesda Christian Schools for Girls is a real place. It was supposed to be a Catholic reformatory for recalcitrant young women down in the marsh and the swamps of Biloxi, Mississippi. That's where it was. Those were my options. I had plenty of education because I read all my mom's magazines. My mom used to love Cosmopolitan magazines, so I knew how everything worked. I knew what was supposed to happen. I knew everything. And my aunts were nurses, and so they had, like all the medical books. So I'm a nerd, so I knew like I knew everything, and I knew that there were options. There were ways to protect yourself, but not in Mississippi. You couldn't go into the drugstore and like buy protection in Mississippi, like because everybody knew you. Everybody knew your mama. Like you couldn't do things like that. So that is what we were taught. We were given, at least my generation. These new generations coming up, hallelujah. Seriously, you can buy birth control in Costco now. So things are different, but we have had to suffer way too long. Y'all, I'm not going to get into graphically what she dealt with. Smashing her head against stuff in the car, like when she would go pick up the baby, hiding the baby, like all awful things, all themselves, all types of different kinds of abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, keeping you in a state of fear, right? Mental abuse, right? Crazy making, acting like crazy making, like the baby's supposed to be here, but no, it's really over here. But I'm like, that's trying to make you crazy. And we suffer from that. These patterns are not isolated. Every single one of us knows somebody that has had to deal with this. And maybe we've been that person. Same here. Oh my God, I hate that. I love that we're connecting and we're like this, but I hate it because I know it. Now the families really, Aaron. Oh, now the family's gaslighting her, of course. And now this is going to play out. But you know what? The good news, and here's the good news. Here's the good news. The baby is not being shoved in front of cameras. I know people make different kinds of content and we make mom content and this is a way, some moms express themselves. Um exactly. Of course, Nikki says, of course they are. Thank you all for talking to each other. It makes me so happy. And thank you for keeping those likes going. Y'all have, oh my God, we're already up to 16,000 likes. Oh, and time is running. So let's keep talking. But maybe we all know someone. And y'all, if you need to reach out, there are so many resources. There is a 1-800 National Domestic Violence Hotline. I will tell you the organization that I used to work for. It's called Center for Domestic Peace. Center for Domestic Peace. You look that up. There's literally, we worked so hard to make one of the best electronic cross country, every state to get access to services, whether it's emergency shelter, emergency food, emergency therapy services. Um, if you're an elder and you're dealing with elder abuse, there are all these resources for you. So, Center for Domestic Peace, that's where I worked, and there is a National Domestic Violence Hotline. Talk to someone. Sometimes our whole job on the hotline was just to listen. That just to listen, because maybe you can't do nothing about it. Maybe you can't go anywhere. Maybe you can't. You really can't. It takes like 7 times, they say, on average to leave. And when you leave, it's more dangerous. Things got crazy for my mom when she finally got us out the house. That's when the kidnapping happened. Like that's when the grabbing us up out of school happened. Maybe it was the saying that word. That's probably what did it. Mom threatening to go live. Go live then. Oh my gosh. Folks are crazy. They're so, oh gosh. And it's important for us to talk about it and to say why we're no longer suffering silently and to get on talk about it. Because when the silence exists, not when the silence exists, the reason the silence exists is because of fear. We're protecting somebody else. Sometimes we think we're protecting the baby because we want them to have, like, maybe we realize things are a nightmare and I'm gonna get out of this one way or another, but I don't want to raise another young black boy. Halo, he's such a little angel. Has such a little expressive face. I have a little niece that's like that, like my little niece Sav. Like you can just, she is taking it all in, and she's they're excellent at actually Sav is more of a dancer. I think we're gonna get another dancer out of her, but like Halo, like another one of my little nieces is more Mila. You can just, they taken in everything and they know how to communicate with their eyes. Like they know how to smile with their eyes. They know how to be like with their eyes. It's goodness. We think sometimes that we're protecting the child. That as bad as things are with me and the father or the partner or the abusive partner, I don't want them to not have access to their father, because their father is going to be kind to them. The father's going to be loving to them because that's their baby, right? He must love his baby. He must love his child. But no, that's also not the case. Sometimes we're just surviving. And sometimes the survival isn't just basic human needs like food, clothing, shelter. Sometimes the survival is, I got to survive in this industry. Halle may have wanted to pack that baby up and like run away, but she can't do that, right? A movie's premiering. I got a record company. She has a living to make. Like she's worked her life. She started on the internet, right? On YouTube. Isn't that where Beyonce found them before she took them under her wing? And I bet I don't know this. I have no facts to base this up. I don't know, but I feel in my heart that Beyonce was like, yeah, girl, you need to just, okay, whenever you're ready, finish it up. Jail, send a jet, let me know. So sometimes you're surviving just in your industry, the way you make your living. And sometimes it's just shame. There's another creator. She's a black woman of the 92%. Her name is Lola. She may show up tonight. I like Lola. She pops in sometimes. She talks a lot about shame and black women and shame. Okay. She literally, she could write an encyclopedia about it, why we suffer it and how we can start unlearning shame and repelling shame. Hey Tanya, thank you for coming in. And y'all, and just let me do a quick reset. Hello. My name is Halicue Hanna. I am your friendly neighborhood thought leader and content creator for Black women of the 92%. I work for Black women of the 92%. I make a podcast called the Hey It's Halicue podcast. It is available every place you listen to podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Music. There's a video version of the podcast where y'all get to look at my face, my mug. Y'all listen to my face and all these silly, crazy expressions I do. And tonight is normally celebration night when I go live on a Thursday night, because that means I finished the podcast and I'm still editing. It's going to drop closer to midnight tonight. And the podcast this week is all about microaggressions. I kind of shifted the order a little bit. So normally this is kind of a live celebration of the podcast dropping. I tell you all to go to Substack, follow me over on Substack, become a part of the podcast community over there. I still want y'all to do it, but sometimes I really need to talk about harm and harm perpetrated against Black women, especially when it happens with our faves and our icons, because maybe we see something in it and maybe there's a lesson like we can extract and maybe we can share it. And on that vein, um, go live in these TikTok streets. She'll be humbled. Drake watching time. Exactly. I know Drake. Drake had quite the career, didn't he? Like every now and then I'm like, cancel Drake. The power of Black art. Oh my gosh, to all my Black artists that are listening from the sound of my voice. Seriously, you're right. It's gonna be problems and situations. It's gonna be slow singing and flower bringing from the internet if she tries to go live. It's over. Like even men are like, dude, stop playing in our face. You know what you did. You know what you did. Let me check out these new messages. Y'all are so funny. Oh, you're so kind. Cancer and Cancer is a motherfucker. You are so kind. Thank you all so much tonight. Y'all, we already can't believe we already reached our goal. All right. So, whether we're talking about microaggressions, abuse that we suffer, that we have been suffering as Black women, they even say they say my grandfather on my paternal side was a monster and he was a preacher. They say like he was they say like he was hell on earth. I'm kind of happy I didn't know him. He was a very handsome man, like my father, a very learned man. He went to the normal school, which back during Jim Crow was a big deal, and then managed to educate 14 Black children coming up out of Mississippi. Half of it, like my father's side of the family went to Jackson State, my mom's side of the family went to Alcorn State. So yes, this is something that Black women know. These microaggressions, abuse, no matter what, it's all harm. It's all connected. It has all been so aimed at us, which is why when we all collectively said and we decided on the night of the 2024 election, we have had it enough. We're done for a little while. We can't transmute and get us. Turns out all of our suffering and pain won't save us from something like the stunt queen in chief that y'all elected. Turns out us being downtrodden, us breaking ourselves and being broken and trying to fit into all these different molds, making ourselves smaller. And even as they're doing this, trying to make ourselves smaller, they send us to school. Like, here, excel. We finally got the right to get you into school. Now excel in this institution that was built to keep you out. This country didn't want you to read. All they wanted us to do was stay enslaved and breed a workforce. But go to school and excel because people have died. Vote. Exceed in the workplace. Work 10 times as hard. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Just the way it is, Black girl. Just the way it is. And keep this kitchen clean. And don't talk back to me. And stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about. And stop telling people our business. And there's not enough Black men out there not in jail for you to marry, but you better get married. And you're married and you might be unhappy and you might not love him, but why don't you have children? Well, you can't leave now because of the children. Pray about it. Pray on it. Pray over him. Submit. Submit. Iron his clothes before he goes out to be with his side piece. Yeah. All harm against Black women, all connected. Debilitating process. It is a debilitating process. Seriously. I know this. I know every aspect of it. And then say you manage to escape, you get to the shelter and you do everything you're supposed to do and you get yourself a job and you get off public assistance and you get the kids in a new school and you get the kids in a new school and you do everything that you're supposed to do. You get yourself in a community college. You work out your pain through your studies. You figure like that's something, at least as a black woman, I control. That's how we end up, seriously, great minds. That's how we end up being one of the most educated demographics in the country. Can't have feelings, but we can get them books. It's okay. It's working out for us. But finally, we said enough. So that's why I take, and when I saw y'all, somebody asked me, like, when'd your content creation journey begin? It began when I was so angry and I was so sad, and Black women were so angry and we were so sad that we said enough. Okay, y'all got it. And I rushed into that open space because I've been waiting for Black women to do this my whole life. I have been waiting for us to put ourselves first my whole life. And if I can help us keep doing it, I'm going to do it. Yeah, he's a good man, Savannah. It's funny and it became popular because first a Black person came up with it, then a Black person acted it, and then we all saw ourselves in it and we sent it around. And we laugh because that's how we cope. And so that's why we have to have the conversation tonight. That's what we're doing. The laughter, we cope, we create, we make arts, like Toni Morrison said. And y'all, we're talking about it. We're just not going to suffer in silence anymore. That's why I do the podcast. That's why I want y'all to ring in, comment, tell me, so I can take it and I can pray over it. And another Black woman can see it and she can take it and she can pray over it and we can change. We can talk to young women about it so they don't have to deal with it. We are going to stop this. So yeah, that's why I ran into, how did your content creation journey started? When Black women decided we had enough. And I wanted to make sure the momentum, we don't lose it. So that's why my energy is up to here. I don't have no problem being a human ray of sunshine for Black women. Yeah, the light will never go out. I'll keep doing this until the bitter end. We deserve it. And the thing that drives me crazy, and also is the thing that keeps me going, is because once we decide to rest, once we get therapy, once we fix our minds, once we heal from the things that we saw, once we start realizing this body houses our spirit, that the divinity is within us as much as it is up there. Even our churches pray on us. Our churches pray on us. They prey on our innate power and spirituality. The thing that drives me crazy is we are amazing. Look at us. Listen to us. Everybody wants to talk like us, dress like us, put their hair like us. Y'all know how many women come up to me telling me they want hair like me? I'm like, I know, I see what you're doing to it. I'm skin just like you. I'm like, I know. Y'all used to actually consume us. I know. There's something powerful. Oh, what else? Somebody said that's a good one. I could tell it's a good one. I'm telling you, I put myself first this season and it feels good. Y'all. And we never as Black women said to heck with everybody else. We didn't say that. We're still not saying it. We're saying us first for once. Because when we put ourselves first, everybody else is protected. Everybody else is protected. Let the matrilineal, let the mother elephants, let us take time to ourselves to grow and nurture so we can protect. What we're doing right now is protecting us and the other beautiful baby elephants. That's what's happening right now. We're protecting ours first because we get to do that. We get to do that. Thank you all for liking the lives and sending it back out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. And y'all, us saying it, we didn't even get to Diddy. I believe that girl. I believe Cassie. Have y'all read the court transcripts? I'm not even going to pretend to read the court transcripts. I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to read y'all as much as I feel safe and that I feel TikTok will let me read from CNN. Please just give me a synopsis. Day 4 of testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Day 4. Cassie Ventura on the stand. Ex-girlfriend of Sean P. Diddy Combs and one of his accusers took the stand for a third day today in Combs' federal criminal trial. Her testimony. Okay. Nope. I'm not going to read it. Okay. The defense asked Ventura about her relationship with Combs while they were dating. Jury saw emails and messages between them, including graphic ones that occurred as they were planning a bleak POF, which is what Combs called the drug fueled crimes he orchestrated. That's as safe as I feel. That's Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges that include racketeering conspiracy. It's not funny. Racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. If convicted on all counts, he could face up to life in the pokey. May they put him under it. All I needed to see was the video in the hotel. Exactly. And y'all, those are scenes that I have seen before. Some of us have seen that before. He had people drag her back. He had a whole group of people that were just in charge of knowing where she was. We have suffered in silence too long. And here's the thing: this is not just stuff that happens in certain area codes because you got a certain amount of money. That was one of the big myths we used to dispel back during the OJ days. I started doing this work back then. And this was back when talking about this stuff, this was new. Like the fact that this was in the news, everybody's talking about his relationship. I could not believe. I was like, "Oh, that's what I used to see in my house. I know what that is. I know exactly what that is." A lot of us do. A lot of us knows what it is for somebody to go up upside somebody's head. Sadly, a lot of us have seen it. A lot of us have had brothers, uncles try to break up fights. We see it. We know what it is. Okay? This is not just stuff that happens there. Okay? And let me tell you, as somebody that used to do this work, and I did the work everywhere. And the thing is, no woman is the same. Her story is not the same. This happens to women in Harvard Medical School. This happens to women who are at the who go to the Parsons School studying design. This happens to the lovely lady that hands you your Ward's burger. This happens to the lady that's checking you out the grocery store. This is happening to your hairdresser. I know we've seen scenes in a hairdresser. I know, at least where I come from in Mississippi, I've seen all kind of crazy stuff go down at the hairdresser. It has taken until recently for me to even be comfortable in a hair salon because something could always pop off. Always. Somebody always had some crazy boyfriend, some crazy baby daddy. You never knew what might happen. We know this. Oh, we got some comments. Pal said, and he started controlling her when she was what, 17, 18, distancing her from her former boyfriend. Gross. Exactly. Isolation. It's a tactic. Again, I saw so many different women. These women were so variegated. They were so different. I got a hotline call. I'm not going to say where the neighborhood was. I'm just going to say it's a fancy neighborhood. I'm going to make up a whole different neighborhood, some place I never worked, just to give you an idea of how fancy the neighborhood. Let's say I'm going to make up a place, Arizona. I've never lived in Arizona. I've never worked in Arizona, but I know that Scottsdale is a very nice area. It's a very nice area. I was on a hotline call once and we would do follow up with the police. We do follow up. Like after a police call happens, we get the woman's name, number. They give them our card. And a day later, we called, "How are you doing? Do you need any services? Is everything okay? Do we need whatever, whatever?" Y'all, I saw a number I knew and a name I knew. This woman was the board of one of the most prestigious charities. She was at she'd be at the MoMA, the Museum of Art, and that's where the socialites like hang out at, like the Museum of Modern Art, because a lot of them met their husbands at art galleries where they were showing art. You'll notice they always have like some young, cute, pretty thing like at art galleries selling really expensive art at them. Gagosian or whatever. And then they go on to get married and they become socialized. I'm not saying everybody, I'm just saying some of the ones I know. And then that's their big thing, like the MoMA. So this is like somebody that was like just, and she wasn't a dummy either. I know where she went to school. She went to Duke. Like she wasn't no dummy herself, and she didn't get there because of family connections either. I know very smart women this has happened to. And so on the call, I see that there have been domestic, like, I said, see, there's been domestics, and we take notes so we can, give them to the police and in case they need whatever. One of the questions that was asked was, is it abuse if he makes me eat my food off the floor? So yeah, this is real. This happens to women. This happens to us. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what spectrum, socioeconomic spectrum, it doesn't matter what race, but you know who experiences violence disproportionately, even compared to other women? Guess. Guess. Guess who suffers even more? And y'all, 30% of women in general have dealt with either some kind of physical, emotional, or psychological abuse at some point in their life, much less SA. Us, we're the ones that suffer disproportionately, in case anybody was wondering, in case anybody was playing. I'll take Black women for 500, Alex. Thank you for coming on in. So, y'all, I'm not being bizarre by smiling. I'm happy because at least we can talk about it openly and honestly. I'm blessed and grateful that y'all are my community and we can talk about it with. And I am entrusting you with taking, and now I have to go eat with my family and we have to wrap it up. I am entrusting us. Ooh, Miss Jaw, meet Miss Floor. She asked one. Yes. Y'all are funny. We have to laugh. It's true. And at least, hey, Daily Sunshine, I love your name. I think I tell you that every time I see it. Thank you for being here. Thank you. And thank you all for keeping the hearts going. I appreciate this so much. Thank you so much for your generosity tonight. Y'all, all I'm going to say is this: we can shift this energy, Black women of the 92%. The way we heal is by talking about it. So, what we did tonight was not trauma dump. What we did was transmute energy. We see something, we feel it as a collective, we mourn it, we shed a tear, we ask the ancestors to bring us peace and happiness and laughter. We kiss our daughters, we kiss our sons, we teach them what love is, that love does not involve putting your hands on anybody. Violence is wrong, which is interesting considering some people truly need their jaw rocked. It's two things can be true at the same time. Some people truly have it coming, but women and Black women, man, we have just dealt with too much for too long. We simply have. And so we're going to talk about it. Because if we talk about it, we know we are the most intuitive, spiritually powerful women on earth. So much of the we and y'all, we have managed, and now here's the good news. We are lifting ourselves up and out of it. Incidences of this kind of intimate partner violence, we call it IPV, are going down in all communities. They are. It just is. And we're able to teach our children about it. Incidents of harm against children, because women in general are not that violent, and when we are violent, we have a tendency to be violent with our own children in our own home. We kind of take what's been done to us and we pass it along, especially if you're of that older generation, and again, legacy of slavery. We physically harm our own children supposedly to keep them safe from, and there was a time when that was true but not so much anymore. But the yoke and the emotional hold of slavery, we're still unlearning it. We're still pulling away those last threads, and we're going to pull them out and we're going to pull them away over the next 4 years as a part of this movement. We are keeping ourselves safe and putting ourselves first. And I know it's frustrating, but I hope what we have talked about tonight is going to help us do that. And here's another thing: when none of this our fault, none of it. None of it was ever our fault, ever. And we will continue this season by drinking our water and keep on minding our business because we've earned it. I hope I've made that abundantly clear. I don't think the Black historian is still in here, But I'm positive I didn't tell any lies tonight. I am positive every word I spoke was the truth. I'm positive. Okay? We are not broken. We ain't never been to blame. And we are done suffering in silence. Okay? Everything about my podcast, y'all know the first 3 episodes, all I talked about was joy and art and creating because that's what we're choosing to do. Black women are the 92%. The 92% means something. And even for the 8%, we'll put our hands down to them, except Candace Owens. I'm not reaching out the hand of sisterhood to Candace Owens. Y'all tell her I can't speak for all the 92%, but I'm sure I speak for most of us when I say no. We are not here for the rebrand. Don't come over here and try to sit with us. You're not welcome back. We don't believe in harm. We ain't gonna harm nobody, but no. But I am willing to lift some of us up that are still operating under the mental yoke of slavery, but not her. Sorry, not gonna do it. Permanently revoked. She did too much harm. And you can't play in our faces. You can do a lot of things, but you can't play in a Black woman's face. And you doing this abrupt about turn, you can't sit with us, Candace. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry because I'm not, and I've never been that kind of girl. I ain't never been that girl. Ever. No. If she had a twin sister, I would say, okay, your sister can come over here, but not you. You're not. No, I'm sorry, not. Y'all, thank you for following and liking. She's banned for life. Like Target, get over there with Target. It's forever. I'm sorry. Forever, forever, ever. Yes, forever, forever, ever. Sorry, not sorry. Okay? That's the way that is. I'm sorry. She's given races a place to feel comfortable. Yes. And do you know what happens when you make those people feel comfortable? You know who it ricochets back on? You know who it's harder on? Us. We're the ones that suffer. All your shenanigans out there only embolden those people to harass us and our children and our family while you sit in your little bubble protection. But a lot of them are finding out Candace can maybe protect herself, but a lot of them can't. Yeah. Somebody said Candace is the black hand to target ads. You're probably right. I'm gonna pull some cards on that. Tarot, is that true? I bet it's true. I don't even need to look. I know it's true. I know it's true. I'm willing to lift up, extend the hand of friendship. I truly am. I really am. I promise you all. I promise you all I am. But not her. Not today. Not in this lifetime. We're dealing with too much. We're still very much resting. We really are. We really are. And I promise you, do y'all see how we can have this conversation and it can be happy? And do you know what I mean? We're just, it's when we talk about, I think so much of the reason again we haven't been able to be free as a people is because too many things yoke and choke black women. Like too many things are harming us. We're carrying too much. In addition to the world being violent to us, we got to deal with our own loved ones being violent to us. Leave traitors out of they did it once to again traitors lifetime. Exactly. Seriously. But like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Really, really. We are not who? Boo Boo the Fool. Ain't never been. Ain't never been. She emboldened them in their bigotry towards us. So no, she's not like us. And I'm sorry. And the thing I wanted to say about Diddy, I'm gonna circle back just for a hot minute. My husband's watching the basketball game, hallelujah, so I can stay with us like a little bit more. I wish I cared. I just don't care about the basketball stuff, y'all. I really don't. I be trying. I'm a soccer mom. It's only so much of attention to sports I can do. Although I am very excited about our new WNBA team. Y'all, we're going to get a WNBA team here in the Bay Area. They're called the Valkyries. One of my favorite restaurant, Mixed, already has a salad dedicated them. I'm going to be there. My youngest daughter used to play basketball and my husband used to coach. By the way, men, if you coach, I find that so attractive. Like, it's such a kind, loving, masculine, like divine masculine thing to do. My husband had no idea. I was like, he was never more attractive to me than when he's like on his knees trying to get his girls to run the pickle play. You know, like anyway, I find that so wonderful. So I'm so excited there's going to be a WNBA team. Then I'll get excited about basketball because I love our WNBA players. They're so beautiful. The more time on sports, more time away from important things that matter. It's true. Like I just don't care, y'all. I just don't care. There's so many things to do. I could be talking to y'all. Sorry if you see that. I hit the request. That was an accident. Oh, girl, don't worry. Don't worry about it. I do that all the time. I be trying to like, and somebody's like, "Come on up," and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't. No, 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 no. I already went live this morning." Unless it's Bree the Champagne Gal, who I love because she invited me for a little panel, and I love like anytime I catch her talking and she's doing panel. I absolutely always want to talk. Um, Y'all, one of the things that I will always talk about in the podcast, and y'all listen to the podcast, the new episode is going to be dropping tonight around midnight. Y'all can either listen to it on Substack, y'all can listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Music. Um, every single episode of the podcast, no matter how deep and how heavy we're talking about, are going to be talking about choosing joy, community, boundaries, and our softness as a part of our political strategy. Somebody asked earlier, why do you like Meghan Markle? What has she ever done for Black people? Exist, just be herself, show up golden in a Leo, make us proud as Black princesses, those of us that feel like we're Black princesses on the inside. I don't know, create lifestyle brands, award-winning podcasts, look good in clothes, look 15 years younger than she actually is, give us a just silk press that could rival Kamala's. That's what she does. Okay? But she talks about softness and loving her home. She has resources and she loves talking about her. That's what she does for us. We get to be soft if we want to. Yeah, put up with mediocre royals, show them up, turn out to be the most elegant. I hate the word classy, but turn out to be the most elegant, sophisticated, well dressed, educated, um, intellectually like capable. Y'all hear the way she would talk? Oh gosh, she was so smooth when she would have to do like when she had to do her public speaking. She was so beautiful. Oh, you're gonna be looking for me on Substack and the YouTube. Thank you so much. So y'all, we choose joy. We choose our collective community. Black women, we're gonna keep honoring our conscious collective, moving in sync together. Sometimes almost telepathically, the way we're talking and communicating. We're going to learn how to create our boundaries, and we're going to help other Black women maintain those boundaries. We're going to remember that boundaries are sometimes for other people as much as for us, and we're going to prize ourselves and keep ourselves safe. So it's important for us to talk about Halle Bailey and what she suffered in silence for a long time, even though we could all see it, especially those older of us. Those are like, I'm 52, Gen X, like, and this was the work I did. So I can literally feel when a woman has gone through something. I have what and the reason I'm able to do this and to do this work, I'll never forget, one of my mentors said that I was unique in that I didn't have compassion fatigue. And that means that I never get tired of, here, put your head here. I'll listen to your story because I know your story. And then I feel your story, and you could tell that I feel your story, and that would help you. Now, in the beginning, in my 20s, I didn't know how to release that energy, and it made me very sick, but I was very good at, I can at least take part of it, hold part of it. I even tell my daughters and I tell Black women, if it's too much for you, put it right here. Give it to me. I'll hold it for a little for you so you can get some sleep. I really will. That is why I'm here. That's why I do the work. That's why I do the podcast. I have a real understanding of how we have been maligned and mistreated. And when I saw what we were doing after that election, I said, I'm here for it. I'll work for us. I'm not working free for anybody else anymore, but I'll work to the end for Black women to help get us free. Because if we turn our mind to it, we can do it. We can do it. Yes, I'm here for it till the end, till the bitter end, till whatever happens. Because can't nothing, the worst has already been done to us. As we can see with Cassie. Do y'all see what I'm saying? And like people are like, Black people, you should be worried. Why should we worry? We have to endure horrors all the time, as evidenced by what even our celebrities and our icons have to deal with. You think we like Tariffs. Okay. Okay. Stock market in decline. Okay. Black fatigue. Black fatigue. Come on. So yeah, I'm here for our freedom and our liberation, however we get there. And I will fight it one microaggression at a time. And I'm taking one of us with us wherever I go. I don't care how high we get, where this rocket ship is taking off to, but I'm bringing us with us. We going. We're going. And we're going to do it through art, like Toni Morrison said. We're going to do it through our art, through our sheer power, through our beauty, through the way we talk, the way we sing, the way we adorn our bodies, the way we love on our hair, our skin. White farmers are freaking out and black farmers are like, child, exactly. They never gave us access to these programs. They let us have access to those programs for a smooth 2 years. Joe and Kamala finally got some stuff through. Girl. And when I talk about this book, I'm making a video about the book, and I said I was going to read something to us from the book. That was our rest. That was because we hit our goal. That's right. So let me get our reading for tonight before I say goodbye. We're going to do our reading from the rest deck. This is created by Trisha Hersey. It's called the rest deck. It is 50 practices to resist grind culture and medication. It is to resist medication because they want us sick and medicated. That's another thing they want. They want us sick and poor and medicated. But no. 50 practices to resist grind culture. And I consider them meditation. So I'll choose one for us. And I think I'll read something from the book because a lot of people have reached out to me and asked me, like, if you're interested in African traditional religion, spiritual practices, or not even that, just reaching to reconnect with all of our connections to the ancestral South and our Southern roots and our Southern culture. This book is like literally, it's amazing. And I already have had this book for like 6 years, like 7 years. And y'all, I messed around and saw it was in TikTok shops. I was like, oh yay, then everybody can buy it. Yay, and get a coupon. Wonderful. And then if you buy from if you do it from the from the showcase, then you're supporting the podcast. Like, and you're helping yourself, you're getting a book. I have never taken a step towards my own mental, emotional healing, my spiritual walk, or even in putting a new idea in practice without a book. For me, just everything starts with a book. I'm just a nerd. That's what we didn't have the internet. We didn't have screens. We had books. And the only positive, some of the only positive feedback I ever got from adults was about how smart I was. So yeah, like I'm a book nerd. I'm a black girl nerd. All right. I am not a machine. I am a divine being. I can rest. I am not a machine. I am a divine being. I can rest. Okay. All right. Get a little overheated. Perimenopause is a bitch. So our message from Dr. Hersey, the good bishop. Can you imagine what it will feel like in your body once you surrender to rest? Some of us can't even imagine. Can you imagine what it will feel like in your body once you surrender to rest? Stay in the imagination space, Aaron, Nayland, other artists. Freedom from stresses like worrying about bills and laboring to feel worthy. You can imagine a new way, Black women in the 92%. You can imagine a new future. Stay in rest. Stay in rest. I didn't say it. Spirit said it. Y'all are the one that got us to our goal. So that's the message. And and I will put it up on my stories tonight to anybody that came late. And anybody that came in late, before I say goodbye, hey, y'all, hey, I'm Halicue. I am the creator. That's why you kept knocking people out. Exactly. We know the assignment. I'm here to keep us on assignment. Consider me our teacher's assistant on our way to matriarchy. And Black women finally running the show and making the big decisions, because what do we know? Black women of the 92% above everybody else can be trusted to make the right decisions. The American election proved that. Okay? I don't want to hear any arguments on it. I know I'm right. I know I'm right. And that is our message. There was one, y'all, I wanted to share this. There's this one really great thing I wanted to read to us because it goes into not only it's an amazing book, and it's not just about, it is like it's recipes, it's remedies, like it's an herbal, it's an herbal breakdown, but there is a nice little chapter here, especially for those of you that want to talk to me about spirituality and you want to know, okay, my daughter is calling, I've got to go upstairs, everybody's ready to eat. Chapter 9, I'm going to turn that off just for 1 second, everybody's ready to eat. Chapter 9, working the powers, conjuring and hoodoo remedies. And y'all, it goes into warding off evil for protection, getting rid of malintent, absorbing negativity, purification to command a situation. It's a wonderful book. I'll try to read a little bit later tonight. They are literally calling me. They're ready to eat. Y'all can hear the phone. I love y'all. To the beautiful bold. Yep, because my y'all can't hear me because my child is trying to call me. Reese, mommy's coming right up. No, too late. Love you. Bye. I know. I have to hang up. I'm live right now. Love you. Bye. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry. It keeps muting. That's because my daughter was calling to see if her boyfriend could come over for dinner, and I had to say sorry. No. Come over for dinner. So I'm so sorry about that. But I will read, maybe I'll read a little bit. How about this? What if I do How about this? Maybe I'll do a subscriber only live where I read this to y'all, maybe right before I go to bed tonight. How about that? I'm not going to be able to be on live long, but I'll make it subscriber only so everybody can get it. Because I really, really, really do want to do a little special thank you for everybody that like supported tonight and that supports the podcast. I appreciate it so much. But for everybody else, I still want to share the message with you all because we all work together to achieve our goals during the lives. So I will absolutely put up our card on my story so everybody has access to that. The video of tonight's entire live, because somebody asked like why were we talking about what did I say about Diddy? I can't go back into that dark space about Diddy because I feel too good right now. We went into a dark place. We went into what my sister calls the crevasse. My sister and I call the crevasse. It's like I think she's the one that came up with it. But it's like sometimes we go into a dark place still because we grew up in trauma. Sometimes we be doing we healing, but creator ain't finished with us yet. So sometimes we go into what we call the crevasse. And my sister especially suffers from seasonal affective disorder. Like she gets low in the wintertime. So I'm like, girl, you in a crevasse? Mom's asking about you. What's going on? You in a crevasse or what? So sometimes we have to like pull ourselves out of crevasse. So we went down into the crevasse to talk about the darkness. And now we have lifted ourselves up. I can't go back. But if you would like to see the replay of the live tonight, and we talked about some good things tonight, and actually did a lot of education about what intimate partner violence is really. We basically, in just talking about these two things, we talked about every aspect of power and control, which is what that stuff is about. Having power over us and controlling us as Black women. No mas. Those days are over. Hope everybody enjoyed those 400 years of having us in submission and under their boot. You're welcome. You're welcome. We're finished now. We're done. Okay, we're done. So thanks everybody for subscribing. I will come on and I'll read us a little cute selection for in a subscriber only live later on tonight. It's going to be very short. It's not going to be long, but there's a couple of passages I wanted to read y'all from the book because I think it's cool and it's a wonderful book. It's called Working the Roots, and because a lot of y'all asked me for book recommendations for how to begin your process of reaching back down into the ancestral South because y'all saw Sinners, and everybody's got people from Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana, or the Carolinas, or Georgia, or Tennessee, or I consider Maryland and DC South, to be perfectly honest with you, and like Kentucky. Some people say Oklahoma is as country as down south. So for those of us that are trying to reach back to our roots, I want to read a little something, and I want to read something from a book that I love. I bought it because I was starting an herbalism class. Turns out I'm a horrible herbalism student, but I use herbs all the time. Y'all are going to hear stuff in here that sounds like your grandmama used to say it. And there was a time when I'd be like, "Grandma, I don't want that. Like, just give me the whatever, whatever." Now, oh my God, I will run past a bottle of Aleve to get to something else that will help me with my headache. You can make bay leaf tea, and there's a recipe for that in there for headache. Anyway, there's so many wonderful things in there, but the most beautiful part are the narratives and the interviews with healers and just Black women that never stop the old ways, like never stop the old ways. And we're talking to her and letting her interview her, a Black woman named Michelle Lee, who's an Oakland native and who herself is a Black herbalist. It's a wonderful book, and I just want to share some of it with y'all, and I'm probably going to do a post on it too, because it's something that we can actually get in TikTok shop. So it's actually something that's actually there, and it actually is her getting the money, because I also wanted to make sure these weren't counterfeit books. So it's a wonderful, wonderful book. Ooh, Burkina Faso doing good. Yes. When you say Burkina Faso, okay, this is a little personal story. My daughter, when we lived in London, we had this placemat for her, and it had all the countries of the world on the placemat. And so one of the games her and her dad would play, because he's a historian and he loves geography. And we were living abroad, and even though we were living abroad, and since her mama's Black, I always wanted her to know that even though we live here, we not like these people here, we from here. Like, you may see other little mixed children around here, but mommy's Black, and so you are Black, and so we are from over here in the United States, and it's different than your little friend that's half Jordanian, or different from your little friend that's half Ghanaian. Like, it's different. And so she would look at it every night, and it would be a game her and my husband would play, and they would list the countries like alphabetically. And B, there was always Burkina. So Burkina Faso, like, she would love if she remembered Burkina Faso. So, and she would go, Burkina Faso. It just, anyway, sweet little memory. Okay, I'm sorry. That's the Mississippi memory that I had to share. 9 out of 10 things that they gave us in slavery and colonialism, we have to get rid of. And y'all, we're close. If Black women can get rid of it, we're saved. If Black women can heal from the horrors of slavery, if we can become mentally free, if we can get the mental health care services we deserved, if we can get our bodies healthy and strong, did nobody say skinny, healthy and strong and free from all this garbage food and medicine they try to keep us, and the garbage they try to put in our mind. Don't get me wrong, I do love a little bit of trash TV. Don't get me wrong. If we can do all of that intellectually, we're already set. Black women we're just insanely educated, and we value education. Hardworking, we already got that. We understand businesses and how to build businesses. We got that. But if we can get ourselves, if we can protect ourselves from this harm, because some people just need something to beat up on. Some people can't be taller unless they're standing on somebody else. I think Toni Morrison said that. It wasn't me. Um, if we can get free, ain't no telling what might happen. We really might change the whole thing. We really might. Look at how much we've done when we've been done so horribly by. Look at how far we drag this nation on our own back with the things being done to us that we see people are still trying to perpetrate against our young women. Imagine what happens if we get free of that. So that is why I'm here. That is why the Hey It's Halicue podcast is here. Please listen to it. New episode drops tonight, and I really need to get off so I can make sure I get the good. I can get the final edit up for us tonight. I've made them with the prettiest art. I was like, okay, Chad, you got to help me make art that symbolizes Black women protecting themselves from microaggressions. It's so pretty, y'all. I can't wait to show you. Maybe I'll give you a preview of it. And my stories. Anyway, thank you all so much. Thank you all for getting us to almost 15,000. Y'all got us to 34,000 likes. Oh my God. I was about to say thank you for 15,000 likes. Oh my gosh. Thank you all so much. That is crazy. That is crazy. Thank you for your generosity tonight. Thank you for helping us achieve our goal. Stay safe. To the beautiful, bold, brilliant Black women of the 92%, and to our accomplices, people that support us, that want to learn without making us labor, that understand they should listen to us because we're America's early warning system. To y'all, and to Black women of 92%, as I say every week, I love you and all the love in my heart. Y'all know what's coming. And to everybody else, y'all put it in the chat. Y'all that know me, put it in the chat. To everybody else, what? To everybody else, what? Let me see if anybody gets it. Is anybody going to get it? Put it in the chat. What do I always say? We love you too. I always say every night, every time I say goodbye, I say all the love in my heart to Black women of the 92%. Yes. Who came through? Somebody came through for me. Somebody knows. Yes. Aaron came through. Pals came through for me. As I say every time, Black women of 92% and our supporters, our accomplices, I love y'all. To everybody else, have the day that you voted for. And one day we are going to be together in the same space in real life. And I'm going to say that. Y'all help me bring it into being. I'm going to say that. And y'all going to say it right back to me, right in front of me. And then we're going to go have snacks and drinks. We're going to help make it. We're going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. I will that into the universe. Hey, Aunt. Oh, you came late. Aunt, look at the replay. Tell me what you think. Hey, Island Girl, thank you for being here. And y'all, right before I go, these last moments, y'all go tap up here where it says the number of people that are in here. Y'all say hello to each other, connect with each other. I have found so many wonderful women in the comments of lives. A Black woman taught me how to go live, Dr. Lisa. And then another Black woman said, I think you could sell ice to Eskimos. You need to, another way of getting sponsors for your podcast is learning how to work in brands, do TikTok Shop Live. So they in the comment, it right up here with other women that have subject matter expertise and are either artists, have subject matter expertise, or just funny. And I'm doing okay. I'm doing really good. I gotta go because I gotta get the podcast up. And feed everybody. I already made dinner because I knew I was gonna be on here for a minute tonight. All right, y'all. Love y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Enjoy the podcast around midnight. Download it. Those of you that are on the Substack and that subscribe over there, you don't have to pay anything to subscribe or to follow me over there. That's where the podcast lives. So you get the podcast delivered directly to your inbox. So you're going to know when it hits and immediately press that play button so we can get all the downloads. And thank you for supporting Black women in the 19%. I love y'all. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. Okay. All the love in my heart. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Wait, is today Thursday? Today is Thursday. I'll see y'all tomorrow on Friday. Bye, y'all. Ooh. Oh gosh, I can't go anywhere because we're still live on